Good morning students of class 8. Today we are going to finish chapter number 2nd. Okay, and the topic that we are going to discuss today, the fall of Napoleon. Okay, and after completing this chapter we will start the first chapter of civics. Okay, so let's begin the topic that how Napoleon fell down from the power, from the throne. Okay, in France, how the end of Napoleon was occurred. Yes, and in previous video we have learned that how the administrative changes that Napoleon had done in France and in the areas that he conquered actually brought nationalism, unification all over the Europe. Okay, and we have discussed in that topic also that nationalism arose in different parts of Europe because of the changes in administrative fields, that uniform laws, yes, were just implemented in the areas conquered by Napoleon. And when the uniform things, rule and laws, when they just experienced the thought of a nation, okay, a unity, yes, and in this way we can say due to the reason of Napoleon in Europe, we can say nationalism just started and Europe was just unified. Okay, so let's begin our today's topic, fall of Napoleon. So in 1812, France under the leadership of Napoleon invaded Russia. Yes, and many of his soldiers, Napoleon's soldiers, were died in this campaign. Okay, and in this way he just lost many soldiers, and the enemy of France, of Napoleon, just united together. We can say the Austria, Prussia, Russia, Britain, they just united, and they collectively just held war against Napoleon, against France, and he was defeated in that war. Okay, so when he invaded Russia in 1812, in this war he was just defeated and he was exiled. He was sent to other place from France, and the place was Mediterranean island of Elba. It is very important, Mediterranean island of Elba. Okay, he was just exiled there. But as we know that Napoleon was very brave. Okay, he just recovered very soon. He came back from the island of Elba and just restored its military, its army. Yes, and again he came back to the throne. Yes, and in 1815, again he just fall in war. Yes, and this time the war was in Belgium, in Waterloo. So it is very important that finally Napoleon was defeated by the combined forces of Britain, Russia, Austria, Prussia. Okay, so collectively these countries actually defeated the one and only Napoleon. Yes, so in this way we can just think how powerful he was, how brave he was. So all these countries just united to just defeat one person, Napoleon. Okay, so at the Battle of Waterloo in Belgium, he was just defeated finally by these combined forces. So in this way we can say the fall of Napoleon finally occurred. Okay, and this time he was exiled to the island of St. Helena of Atlantic Ocean. It is very important, island of St. Helena in Atlantic Ocean, and there he died in 1821. So finally Napoleon died in 1821. Yes. So in this way we can conclude here that how he rose to power and how finally he was defeated. Yes. Nationalist movements spread across Europe in Poland, Greece, Germany and Italy. We have already discussed in the beginning that due to the efforts of Napoleon in administrative field, the uniform laws that he just ensured in the areas that he conquered, a kind of unity due to uniform laws, they began to think that if there will be just one laws, uniform laws all over the country, it will be beneficial for them, and this uniform law actually brought unity among them. So in Poland, in Greece, in Italy, in Germany, actually nationalism has spread. Yes, due to Napoleon, we can say. And when nationalism has started, people just revolted against the ruler. Okay, because Poland was just occupied by Russia. We can see Greece was also occupied by Ottoman Empire, which was a Muslim empire. Yes, so Poland, Greece, Italy, it was also politically scattered. Yes, Austria, then Prussia, actually France actually ruled over Italy. Yes, and Germany, there was a rule of France on Germany. Yes, Prussia also ruled over Germany. So actually these were just ruled by different kingdoms and empires, not by their native rulers. So when nationalism is spreaded, these countries, the citizens of these countries actually started revolt against the empires, against the foreigner rulers, and one by one these countries became independent and finally established as a separate nation. Okay, so in Italy, the credit goes to the architect of Italy was Giuseppe Mazzini and Garibaldi. Okay, it is very important. In 1870 to 71, Italy was unified. It was established as an independent nation. And in Germany, the architect of Germany, the architect of the nation of Germany was Ottoman Bismarck. So it is very important. So Bismarck actually established Germany, and Giuseppe Mazzini, he was a revolutionary. Garibaldi, they people actually established Italy as an independent nation. So, and now when in Europe nationalism started, when these countries were established as independent nation, the message of nationalism and nation just spreaded into other parts of Europe and into different parts of world, we can say. So here we can conclude that due to French Revolution, due to American War of Independence, the idea of nation, the idea of nationalism is spreaded in Europe, in other parts of world, and in this way the constitution, then fundamental rights, democracy, okay, these ideas were just spreaded and people became aware on consciousness, awareness spreaded in the different parts of world due to these revolts. Yes, so that's why we call that French Revolution, then American War of Independence. These are the very important events in the world history, and by these events we just discussed that what we just learned, okay, and how nations were established. And nowadays we can see that there are different nations, there are constitutions, democracy, rights. So all these things are just brought by those events that we have discussed in the chapters. Okay, so this was the importance of these revolts. and in this way we have completed this chapter, and in the next video we will start the first chapter of savings. So till then, goodbye, thank you.